Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. On this week's episode, we're going to be doing some Banks upgrades to my new GMC Sierra 2500 gas. Remember, if you want to learn more and make less mistakes while RVing, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like and a comment down below. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Now let me quickly preface, I had pretty much everything that Banks had to offer on my Duramax dually. I bought it all myself. Nothing was sent to me or bought or given to me. But I did reach out to Banks because I made a video for them and from the Duramax, and they did send me this stuff for free. Okay, I would have probably bought it eventually, maybe not initially, just because new truck, a lot of upfront purchases. But Banks did send me both the iDash Pro, the mount kit, and the Banks pedal monster for free for this truck. Okay, so I just wanted to preface with that. So like I said, we're installing the pedal monster kit, the Banks iDash Pro, as well as the pod kit that fits my truck, just for the single pod for the single pedal iDash. Now I've already installed pretty much this exact same stuff in my Duramax before, so I'm very comfortable with it. It's a very simple install. Let's just get right into it. First off, let's unbox what we have here to see what we're working with. Okay, so let me show you what we got here. So we have the iDash Pro. We have its cable that goes down to the OBD2 port. We have the pod that goes right into the base of the handle of the A-pillar. We have the pedal monster, which you need to remove this before you go to a dealership for warranty purposes. It does not leave anything trace in the computer. It literally just kind of goes in line. And then the data logging cable that's right here plugs into the top, which plugs into the back of this. All right, so for the stealth pod to get mounted right here on this piece, we need to remove both of these little covers. Obviously I took off the one already and I'm putting it in my glove box in case I ever want to put it back to stock. But I'm just taking a very small little flat blade screwdriver, being very careful not to scratch the plastic. It does not take much, and that cover comes off. And now we should have two 10mm bolts, I believe, back here that we're gonna also take off to remove this A-pillar. So like I said, two 10mm bolts, remove those, and now this A-pillar is gonna come pop straight out into the truck, and it's just held together. I think there's a clip up here, maybe another one at the bottom, and then kind of the base has a little bit of a clip down in there. And this is going to come out. I'm going to gently remove this. All right, so like I said, I just had a clip up here at the top and just had to gently remove this and kind of finagle this out from up here to get this down and away. All right, so the next thing we're doing is we're going to be drilling out this little hole a bit larger, because the cable for the iDash is going to basically be chased down and all the way. So they sent a unibit with it. I know that this is concerning for a lot of people to be drilling holes in their brand new trucks and stuff, but it's to make it a nice clean install. It's behind a cover, so if you ever go back to factory, you don't ever see that hole. Obviously, again, you want to remove this all the way out of the way because you have your airbag system back here and wiring, so we don't want to be hitting any wires when we drill through back here. Okay, so you can see now that I got that drilled out, my cables can come through here and come into the pod through that little hole right back over here, and that's how this is all going to sit on here. All right, so next I want to go ahead and get my OBD2, which goes right to the iDash, as well as the 6-pin that goes from the pedal monster to the iDash, ran from basically the bottom side, because the OBD2 goes right here, up into here. So I just pop this panel out of the way a little bit, which is a fuse block that's meant to come out easily. And I also removed this panel, same thing. I just kind of popped it out gently and removed it. And I'm going to go and remove this weather stripping just a little bit, just so I can get the cable back through here. And once it's back in here, now I'm clear to reach back for all this space. Okay, so I put my panel back on. I have my OBD2 ready to be plugged in. I have the cable for the pedal monster just hanging out, and I went ahead and put my A-pillar back on. Again, you just want to make sure you get your seam lined up here. And then when it comes to the two bolts, the first one is the stock bolt, stock cover. I got it threaded nicely, made sure it's centered up before I got this one on here as well. Put the cover back on, tightened up, put the cover back on. Now this one, it comes with a little Allen wrench for the new bolt that it sends you with the washer. And it is hard because you can only do like little 1/8 turns at a time, so it takes a minute. But now this is nice and tight. The pod is you know, nice and sturdy mounted, nice and clean mounted. And then I went ahead and plugged in the 4-pin for the OBD2 and the 6-pin for the pedal monster. And we're gonna go ahead and just basically set this back in here, and it just kind of clicks in place. Okay, with the pod set up and ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and take my pedal monster and plug one end in on top of the accelerator pedal, or this one goes on top of the accelerator pedal, and then the piece that came from the accelerator pedal gets plugged into here. Right here at the top of the accelerator pedal is the plug you're gonna remove. You basically just slide this red tab up, push on the button that's right there, push and lift up, and that just comes up and out of place. So that's the thing, the system is just going in line with your previous system. So it's not changing anything on the computer or programming or anything like that. It's not leaving any trace footprints and stuff like that. It's just telling the computer a different thing than what the normal computer would have been telling it to do. I'll try and explain better when we do the operations. Okay, so you can see the pedal monster I have plugged in, and then the other part comes from the original accelerator pedal. And I just went ahead and zip tied it up out of the way, nice and tight. And I got the 6-pin plugged in. It does not matter which side it goes in. This is just for daisy chaining stuff. But so I just plugged that in, zip tied it up, and now it's nice and clean. And again, before you go to the dealership, you just remove that, put that one back on, tuck that up out of the way, you're good to go. I also just want to show you right here from driver's view. This is as close to my face as I can make the camera, but the pod does not get in the way of your field of view at all. It's an excellent mount spot. I mean, it is just nice and clean, easy, way better than like the suction cup or something else. Very, very simple. All right, now that everything is done and installed, I can go ahead and actually plug this into my OBD2 port, and we're gonna go ahead and start it up. Okay, so on startup, iDash Pro pops up, starts to do its thing. All right, so what I have right now for the gauge layout, as you can see, it says gauge layout, and I have it set to the pedal monster combo. That gives me the pedal monster on the side here, along with 4 different things that I can put on here. And I have the battery, mass airflow, intake air temperature, and fuel rail pressure. That's just what I like to monitor. You monitor whatever you like. But over here is the pedal monster. You can adjust it accordingly. Right now I keep it on level 1 on track, and it is ridiculous just as it sits. If you go all the way up to level 10 like that, it is insane. Not really that useful for fuel economy, I'll tell you that much, but a lot of fun. Now, as you go down and it cycles through, you have sport, and it's 10 levels, city, and it's 10 levels, and then back to stock. So going around on stock, you can feel the difference from stock to even just one of the city versions. But if you go from stock to track level 10, it is insane. Now again, I keep mine on track level 1 99% of the time, because I like to have a little bit more giddy up whenever I'm trying to merge or get onto a highway, that kind of thing. Number 1. And number 2, it's really nice for any kind of like emergency where all of a sudden you need to accelerate very quickly to get, you know, someone's about to T-bone you and you need to go. I like keeping it on level 1 just for that purpose. Now again, you can crank it up to level 10, but again, you will probably start to squeal the tires here and there, especially if you turn off your traction control or stability control systems. It's ridiculous how much power this truck really does have that the pedal monster unlocks. Let me take you through some of the stuff here. So one of the other big things that I use this for is my diagnostics. So if I ever have a check engine light, I can come up here, go to the vehicle for diagnostics. I can check the codes, clear codes, recall previous codes. But right now, let's just say I check codes. There shouldn't be any. No codes found. But if you did have a code, it would pop up right there with exactly what it is, the code. You can Google it, then you come here to clear, and you can clear them, and then that'll reset your check engine light. Let me show you the gauge selection and how many different options there are. So I'm just gonna go into my battery for now, but there's either category or group, and you can view by the different types of categories. You can see all these different things. And so let's say you want to monitor some kind of a temperature. You go under temperature, and now all these options are available, and there's tons. So each one of these things has a bunch of different stuff, and you just figure out what it is that you like to monitor for you. Now, just to talk a little bit about the performance difference, you know, I can instantly feel a difference. But what was really funny was I barely ever let anyone else drive my truck. However, the other night I was trying to have a nice date night, and we went to the Hard Rock, and I let them valet my truck. Now, when I did that, when I came back and got the truck, I could see where they were out in the parking lot. I see him get in the truck, and all of a sudden I can see the headlights kind of aim up for a quick second. I knew that he had hit the accelerator pretty quick. When the guy pulled in, he was immediately apologizing. He said, "I'm so sorry. I got in your truck and I just hit it just like every other big truck like this. And what do you got done to this thing? I mean, this can't be stock." I told him, I said, all I have done is a little Banks module that's a pedal monster, just kind of tricked the computer to give it more acceleration, and that's it. I didn't change anything else. It was just funny because just like me, at one point I was working at a Chevy dealership, and I drove around these trucks all the time, and a stock 6.6 gas engine, you know exactly how it feels. So those guys that move vehicles around all day in valet, they know what these trucks feel like and how sluggish they kind of are. And for him to get in and just not realize that I had that pedal monster on there and to give it a little bit too much gas, he could have ended badly. In all honesty, I probably should have just put it down to stock before I gave it to the valet. That way there wasn't too much available power, because they don't need that when they're just trying to park the truck. But again, at a very low idle, almost crawl, and you just kind of hit the gas, it freaking moves pretty quickly. All right, well, that's it for this week's video. I hope you learned something. These are great mods. I hope you enjoyed. If you got any questions, put them in the comments down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, make sure to turn on the notification bell. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Why Not RV. Bye.